Transition. Pitié.
All right.
All right. So it is time for MainFrames. This is a 2D platformer released by Asupi, which, if I remember correctly, is actually a French dev, which is very exciting. Came out in March 2025, and we're going to be seeing movement within a whole bunch of different computer screens because we're a little floppy disk traveling through the computer network. The main point of the story is we're supposed to be going through and saving things. I think there's a virus present, but also we'll learn a little bit more of the story as well later on. I'm not going to spoil that. It is also a little bit of a commentary at the same time on the game dev industry.
MainFrames, platformer sorti cette année, platformer indé français, faut le noter.
Now, this opening... Oh, go ahead.
It is a French dev team.
Yeah, thank you. I remember that. So this opening area, this is our little character. We need to pet our cat 5 times, and every time we pet the cat, we get the little less than 3 symbol there. That will be important. But also, we're going to start to see this little computer screen start to shrink. As you can see, it's now starting to shrink with every pet we're doing. The less than 3 is getting a little bit kind of broken up. That's an indication that things are kind of going a little bit wrong. And there's our 5 pets. And there's some very simple controls to this game. You can run, you can jump, you can do a midair spin, and you can do wall jumps. We're going to meet a penguin friend, Adelaide. We're going to run into her. She's very, very lovely, and she's a recurring character. But first, some basic platforming. As you can see, we're traveling between screens. There's Adelaide, and she is going to have a little bit of a mission for us, telling us that we need to go through and save the various little creatures. We're not going to worry about that so much, though, because that's slow. We want to just get to the end really quickly. So again, some just very basic jumping. Most of these little guys are entirely just aesthetic. They actually aren't interactable, but as we get further into the game, we'll see more that could be interacted with. We have unlocked the cursor now. We can now use the cursor to drag windows around, to interact with these windows, enabling us to do different things. This is going to get more important as we encounter more things. The red is bad. We don't want to touch the red. That will kill us, except for occasionally we do, in fact, actually want to touch the red after we get the key, because that is faster. Most levels have a key, and that's going to be required to be obtained in order to unlock the exit. And here's going to be those places where we're going to grab the key and die, because that sends us back to the start faster than if we were to drag the window back slowly all the way through. Ali has shown up to give a little bit of advice and encouragement there. And here we see bumpers. You can jump on these and they send you in the direction that the arrow is pointing. We'll eventually get to see some bumpers where these bumpers rotate. But for now, they are straightforward and move you just in the direction that they're pointing. Right, there's an example of an intentional death. Don't think it worked quite as they had expected there, but that's all right. Easy enough to simply do the route as intended.
Music is pretty cute in this.
It is very cute. There you go. The intended way is you're supposed to go through the main part there, but you can just jump back up along the back of it, and then you don't have to worry about running into the red line. Anyways, welcome to the elevator. This is what takes us, what ends each level, and we're going to enter the hub area. There's lots of dialogue and lore to skip here. There is a dialogue skip. I don't know if we're going to see it here. Okay, we did not get it. It's a little precise, and not every time you enter, not every time you enter the hub world is the skip possible. So we can see it there, that's fine. We're going to see a new mechanic here as we enter level 2. So everything load in. Also the wonderful little tape deck there. We got some little guys playing it. That's entirely just aesthetic. Now, you see, we have these gears. These gears rotate these things by a quarter turn every time you hit the gear. Now, because we speedrunning, we don't need to hit it as many times as you would expect, as you would need to do casually. For safety, the runner might choose to hit it a couple more times. They've been having a few challenges with some of these jumps. That's okay. They're doing a great job overall. As you can also see, they got clicked in over into that window, and you just skip most of the puzzle by jumping straight over to the gear. Now, we're seeing shrinking windows, so you have to move to the right in order to stretch them. If you stand still or you move to the left, they stay still. So here in this case, the runner had to go back there and run into the wall to make it stretch a bit. Here we had to make it stretch in order to get the key. As long as part of the key is visible, we can still obtain it. We don't need the full thing to be visible the entire time.
On va abuser du fait qu'on puisse complètement interagir avec la fenêtre même de l'extérieur et on va aller chercher la clé comme ça.
And here we're going to run along the bottom again because once again we got to get that key. And there's some more little guys.
Ça va être vraiment plein de petites optimisations comme ça.
So many little guys in this game, very friendly.
Sur certaines mécaniques du jeu un peu plus tard, vous le verrez.
And one of these levels, I don't know if we've seen it quite yet, but there is some of these times where you actually don't want to continue moving as far to the right as you might think, because that actually might block your path. So there is a lot of precision to this timing.
Alors j'ai évoqué une feature, mais on la verra évidemment pas. C'est que si vous êtes qui bouge, notamment, si on venait à mourir, on recommence au début de la salle.
All right, so the mechanic has changed. You have multiple windows on screen that are going to grow, shrink, and move, but only when they're selected by the mouse pointer. So we see this here. The cursor has to be on that window for it to be moving. So we still need to run against that. Again, we need to run to the right to get it to change, but it only changes if it is the selected window. So a fair bit of precision required here. And here this window is just automatically moving because it is selected.
C'est la phase un peu tranquille parce que c'est pas nous qui gérons vraiment la vitesse ici. Mais on peut se faire vite avoir notamment.
Yeah, some auto scrollers. There was also a level just before these auto scrollers that was a leap of faith. You had to do a bunch of jumps with the window moving to reveal the next bump. So a lot of it is just knowing the jumps and trusting that you're going to do what you intend to do. And there we go. That is the end of level 2. So we go back to the hub world. We'll see, I believe most of the levels, or most of the times you return to the hub world, you can do the dialogue skip. As I said, it is very difficult. So we will see if they succeed. That's what they're trying to do. They did not successfully get it. It's sort of you have to kind of jump up and over and around, and it is quite difficult to do. But we are now off to World 3. So, you know those bump gears? Or not the gears, you know the bump icons? They are now going to disappear after we use them, and they will not return until we land back on solid ground. They also, as you can see, look a little more glitchy. This is an indication that things are going a little bit more wrong in this computer network. And we're going to go wee! We're going to have a lot more levels where we go wee! There's a lot of very fun falling in this game. Now, we also are going to use some of these bumps to make some of the red lines disappear, as you saw previously. Once the bump is used, it actually makes that whole window disappear. Ah, the spreadsheet windows. Okay, so you have to click on them so that they crash and turn into solid blue platforms. Some of these spreadsheets, though, when you click into them, will turn into red windows. Those will kill you. Don't touch those. See, we have red ones here. And if you change a spreadsheet while you're inside of it, it will then fling you in a direction. And the direction that it will fling you is indicated by the face on the window. So if it's at the top of the window, it'll fling you straight up. If it is on the side, it will fling you that way. It has a table flipping emoticon, very specifically. It will throw you diagonally up and right. And it will fling you whether the window is blue or red, because the red ones only kill you if you are touching the edge of it. Here we go. There's the table flip ones. As you can see, that launched us off to the diagonal up and right.
Selon l'ordre dans lequel vous en avez besoin, ça va les déclencher. Et donc vraiment, on va avoir toute cette feature de propulsion grâce à ces fenêtres bleues et rouges.
Oh, ran into that red line just a little bit. And here we go. Wee! Big falling time. That was not the quite intended path, but it's the faster path, and that's what we worry about as speedrunners. And a lot of precision here, because again, there's a lot of red spreadsheets there, and those are very challenging. You do not want to touch the edge of those, but that is level 3 done. And after the hub world here, we're going to discover gravity manipulation. So chat, I hope you're ready to go wee, because there's going to be lots of wee in this gravity manipulation level. Also, hello Sawa, welcome in.
Hello, I am so ready to go wee. Pigeon and I have switched off on host, but so you're doing a great job. Just keep on commentating.
Thank you, thank you.
I'll enjoy the mainframes.
Yeah, so here we see these windows that have the arrow pattern in them. This is a gravity window, so as you can see, it actually has flipped gravity entirely. So we enter it, and all of a sudden, it is up and down. We're going to get to see gravity changing in more directions, so it can be up and down, but also left and right. It's very retro design. Reminds me a lot of sort of like 90s, like paper cups that used to exist in like water dispensers at malls and stuff. Very specific. If you are not old, you might not recognize that reference. Here we're doing, it looks like a little bit of an alternate route to get to that one. And now, by clicking between these two, we are actually going to keep swapping the gravity, and we're just going to go ping pong, ping pong, ping pong, back and forth between the two. All right, and here we are going to be using some wall jumping to just skip a whole bunch of things. Again, there's a lot of power to wall jumping in this game. Allows us to skip a whole lot of things. Whee! As you can see, now we're flying sideways. When you are flying sideways, it is extremely difficult because gravity is horizontal, but so the controls are from the point of the character. So if gravity is going left, then left on the controller means you go up, and right means you go down, and it's flipped. Otherwise, also wee. This is one of the big wee ones, but also very challenging. That is very, very difficult to control because again, it's from the perspective of the character, and so you have to just kind of really have solid muscle memory for these sideways gravity ones to go flying through, not run into the bumpers, not run into any of the red lines. You just really don't want to do that because that is going to be a bad time for you. All right, we have the key and we're out. Chat, do you like rhythm games? Sawa, do you like rhythm games?
I like to think I enjoy a rhythm game or two every once in a while.
Excellent. Well, it is rhythm game time. We're going to use this here to get up and stand up on the edge of this. So we just skip the rhythm game portion here.
Now I'm sad.
But, I know, but we can just kind of vibe. Hey chat, you can get some dance emotes out because we're having fun. We're vibing. There's some great music playing. And we just stand here idle until this rhythm game section finishes because it is just safer and easier.
Moi j'en ai une en ref à Zelda, peut-être que vous allez comprendre, c'est juste je voulais tuer le quart de corps qui me manque pour compléter ma barre de vie.
Si tu étais dans une queue de scène, je ne te skipperais pas.
Oh waouh, c'est beau ça. Moi, je voulais te proposer d'être le best segment de mon live split. Voilà, tout simplement.
Les accessoires, toujours.
Donc, Silent, est-ce que tu as une...
J'avais une dernière sinon.
Ah, t'en as une? Oh,
J'aime-
tu vois,
Ah
vas-y.
oui,
Ah,
j'aime- ah oui.
Ah oui,
Ah,
ah oui,
il y a
la
l'accessoire.
fameuse, la fameuse
J'aimerais être bienvenue dans
accessoire.
ton cœur pour faire une partie de Bienvenue chez les Ch'tis.
Magnifique, c'était la meilleure
Bravo,
finalement.
bravo,
j'avoue.
bravo.
Non, mais je suis battue à plat de couture, j'avoue tout.
Non, moi je vais trancher, je dis que vous gagnez tous les deux une disquette.
You can also see from these bump icons, these are not glitched, and so if we were to be jumping on these ones, they would not disappear after a single use. These are ones that would be staying put the whole time. But they're starting to come very quickly, lots of rapid approaches from them. Challenging, there's the key. We're going to grab that key. That opens up our exit, and we're done with World 4. We go back to the hub. We're going to see, again, I believe most of the times when you go back to the hub world, you can do the dialogue skip. I know there is one time at least where you can't. It's just not possible. Again, I'm cheering on Silent Genius. I believe they'll get it.
En train de chill un max, hein. Je sais pas si vous avez remarqué, mais ça rompiche. On est en fin
That's right. This might have been the one where you cannot get it. Okay. So level 5 has a lot of very cool skips. I'm going to do my best to explain them. We are introduced here to windows with multiple tabs. So when you click on a window with multiple times, it will cycle through the different tabs on a window. So as you can see, this window here in front of us has 3 tabs. This one here has 2. And so we need to cycle through, not always all of them, but we do need to cycle through them. Ooh, landed on a red line there. Oops, it's okay. There we go. It's going to get quite intense the further we go. There will also be screens where, as you tab through, there's bump icons appearing. And so there's lots of clicking and jumping coordination. There's also a lot of muscle memory. If you listen really carefully, probably if you go to the mainstream, you might be able to actually hear the inputs where sometimes you'll single or double click in order to get the exact input that you need. Because sometimes you need to do 2, sometimes you need to do 1. There's a lot of muscle memory here. And right, as we see, now as we tab between those ones, we're starting to see these bump icons. There we go. Very good. And we also have movable windows too. As if the multiple tabs wasn't enough challenge, we can also move these windows now. This one we can just kind of skip the most of it. Ah, yes, here we have, this is the tab with 21 tabs. We skip all of that though, because we can just move the other smaller window around and jump around it. And there we go. That one as well. We can avoid a number of things. Say hello to the little guys inside there working. And we are also now mixing in gravity switching as well. Skipping part of the intended level there because we don't need to do all the intended stuff. Being very careful here because not only do we need to change gravity, we also need to tab out at the right time so that we don't run into the red lines. Oh yes, and here we have the quote boss battle. So in each room, the boss is going to throw a storm of pointers at you. However, it turns out you can just skip all of that by going and standing on the top of the screen. Those are little, you can stand on those platforms up there. And so you're supposed to click through the tabs of the windows, set up walls to protect you from whatever direction the storm is coming from. We don't need to worry about that because we can literally just stand on the top of the screen. Oh. There we go. Yeah, so this makes this quote boss fight extremely easy because we can just kind of avoid it. And that is World 5 done. Now, you might see there's 2 more worlds left. There is actually 3 more levels left. 2 of them are directly connected, and therefore one of them doesn't have its own separate endpoint. And here we just run straight to the elevator to go start the number 6. This is the world where we meet the invert icon. The invert mechanic isn't really used in the speedrun. It's going to get used a grand total of once, and so we just kind of ignore it, because who needs invert when we have gravity screens? That's what we use instead for the run.
Et la mécanique, c'est qu'au lieu d'avoir
Mais
une
non.
seule fenêtre d'activer,
Mais
on a
arrêtez de toucher à la souris, on a dit. Il y a trop de.
Now, this is the world where we start to get a lot more of the lore.
Donc oui, c'est une
So
mécanique
there'll be some
différente.
text that will start to appear in the background of these levels, and it's going to explain sort of what is happening. And so the story of this game is, it is about a technology firm in the 80s, and they are trying to develop the titular MainFrames. The firm is being shut down, though, and their computer network is destroyed over time. And our little floppy disk here is basically going through and saving all of the cute little programs that we've been seeing, all those little cute guys. Those are different programs within the computer network. And we've been going through and saving them from deletion. However, that's really slow, so we actually aren't saving them in this run, because we're speedrunning and we're doing any percent. We also see the return of spreadsheet launchers. Again, we are not making use of the invert mechanic. As I said, it is used entirely just once. The rest of the time, we're making use of wall jumps and gravity manipulation and spreadsheet flings, because those are just faster.
Vous pouvez acheter le jeu pour avoir tout le lore. de toute façon.
C'est ça, exactement.
Oh, t'es tombé.
Oh bah non, mais on recommence comme dans le.
There's also a little bit of dialogue to skip through, and now we're falling down. Oh no, we've fallen down a big pit. And welcome everyone to level 7 with the big scary pit. The first 2 screens are very similar to the start of level 1, and our penguin friend, let me remember her name for those who missed it, Adelie, is here.
Dans l'ordinateur, pas dans les. Oui.
We're going to find her here in just a moment, and she's going to introduce us to sort of the final big mechanic of the game, and these are watery lantern orbs. So there's the lantern, and here's sort of the water around them, and you can swim and dash through these. Now, while you're swimming through them, you also have to mash through dialogue from Adelie, which can be very difficult. Also, we're going to start to see... Oh, we didn't get quite enough momentum to make it to the exit there. There we go. Good save. Now, right now, these water orbs are staying the same size. They're now going to start rotating around. They also are going to start shrinking and expanding, causing great difficulties. It's also water physics, making them look harder to navigate than you might expect. This is for sure the hardest part of the game, which makes sense. We are in the second to last part of the game. We also need to... Oh! There you go. Oh, yes, that is the death glitch. That's the death glitch. Or the flight glitch, as they call it. If you die while floating on the border of a water orb, and then respond to a dialogue interaction, you can freely move. So we saw that there, where they literally just flew across the screen. It is shockingly precise. It is quite difficult. And here we have these growing and expanding orbs. This does change the physics of the water orb significantly. It makes it quite a bit harder. And there are some skips that is a little bit challenging in there, but the runner is skilled, and we see the return of the less than 3. The first half was there. We just need to find the second half. And here, this is very precise. I can see Silent Genius is taking this a little bit carefully, which is very fair. That is a long room. We have some very long rooms here at the end. And again, the movement of these water orbs is extremely challenging. Oh no!
n'hésitez pas à mettre en
C'est
écoute
dit.
votre OST. Et au pire, on viendra vous le réclamer sur le Discord du jeu. Voilà. Parce qu'elles sont très bien. Il faut vraiment faire attention, on est très dépendant des cycles. Pas trop forcer le destin.
Il en rajoute tout, les pulsations, les barres rouges,
We also, I believe, will see the flight glitch at least one more time.
Régulièrement, même en cas où vous pouvez le faire, en fait, les ce qui sert d'entrée et de sortie de niveau sont en
There we go. I believe we've got the flight glitch activated.
un endroit, en fait, on peut s'en servir comme plateforme et ne pas se faire réapparaître. Donc ça nous permet de
Again, Silent Genius is taking it very carefully here.
et de gagner du temps.
And there we go. We found the second part of our lesson 3 of our little heart.
On a sauvegardé sur une disquette.
And this is an unskippable cutscene where we absorb all of the icon friends that we definitely have been saving the entire run. We definitely have saved all of them.
Les gens peut-être qui verront cette run et ne sauront pas ce que c'est.
Adelie is going to be helping us now as we enter level 8. And the plot now of this final level is that the computer network is self-destructing. And here is now where we need to, very importantly, be saving all of the little computer program friends. But we won't because that is slow. So don't get too sad. Don't think about it too much. It's okay. The little friends are okay. It's okay. They aren't getting deleted. That's okay. It's just a video game. We need to grab 4 keys as well. So there's a lot of pathing and lots of things to do here. All right, so again, we're seeing all the mechanics. We're also going to see the world sort of start to destruct as we go. Lots of jumping around. Oh, no. Oh. Just missing the gear a little bit. Sort of traversing around to obtain all 4 keys. Again, obtain the key and die. It sends us back to the start, which is faster. Gotta just make sure that we're rotating everything enough. And that's, I think, 3 keys we have now. So there's just 1 more key left.
On n'a pas moyen de skipper ça, on est vraiment obligé d'aller chercher toutes les clés pour libérer le passage final.
Ce passage-là est infâme.
There we go. That will be the 4th key coming up once we get out of this room. There are 8 keys in total in this area, but you only need 4 of them, and these are the 4 preferred by the run. Come on, Silent Genius, you can do this. This is a very difficult screen because of these little 4 red lines rotating through. It is very difficult because you can't stand on the top corners because the red line extends a little over the top.
C'est ça. J'ai arrêté de jouer là. Ah, vas-y.
Now let's send them more energy.
Non. Pas bien.
Tu vas reset le cycle.
Ouais.
Tu vas te remettre dedans, ça va le faire.
Bien sûr. Le pire, c'est qu'il faut revenir.
Now, because there are more keys as an option, they could potentially choose to go get a different key.
Ça va le faire. Ouais, non.
It looks like they're gonna try and persist. They're gonna try and get this one.
Mais non.
Exiting out, I would assume, probably to sort of reset the cycle. There we go. There we go. Good job. And there's the final key that they need. They just got to rotate this around.
Donc ici, on va envoyer la clé, mais on va pas pouvoir faire la strat de tout à l'heure de se jeter pour revenir au début.
And now we're going to start to see things fall apart a little bit more.
Le dernier point, c'était là où il y avait la clé. On est obligé de faire un aller-retour.
Bonjour.
Bonjour, nous sommes de retour. Et dans ce sens-là,
Get back through here.
un peu plus simple.
Oui, alors simple.
Voilà.
There we go.
Et les
Ça
5
sera
clés.
du premier coup, je
Voilà,
pense.
on a eu 5
All
clés.
right, now we are heading towards the exit. Oh, we have a big volcano here. As I said, things are going to start to
Continue tranquille.
rapidly fall apart, get destroyed. You just kind of see everything is falling apart behind us as we go. Because again,
J'allais dire, c'est pas de bonne
it's being
autre.
shut down.
Je crois passe quelque chose de pas bien dans l'ordinateur là.
These platforms are timed in their disappearing, and so you cannot be too slow because they will disappear on a timer. And we're just jumping along these gear bumps.
Bah là en fait l'ordinateur est complètement en train de se faire glitcher.
And this is now Adley here at the end, who is going to sort of package us up and send us off to be nice and safe as everything just kind of gets destroyed around her. And time will be up in just a moment here.
Ce qui reste de l'ordinateur finalement, mais encore une fois, n'hésitez pas à aller faire le jeu pour découvrir vous-même ce qui se trame dans tout ça. On le time bientôt. Time. Voilà.
And that is time. Now for
Nice,
labor
GG.
labor verification will require them to open up the save file off the main menu to double check what their time is, but we will see if they choose to do that here. Yeah, that's MainFrames. Very cute little precision platformer, came out earlier this year. Lots of fun little mechanics in it. Definitely recommend checking it out. Congrats to Silent Genius. That's 30 minutes is an excellent time.
C'est pas un jeu qui dure très longtemps pour autant, donc si vous n'avez pas beaucoup de temps à accorder aux jeux vidéo dans votre emploi du temps, sachez que celui-ci se termine quand même assez vite. Mais il est très cool à faire. Voilà. Est-ce que tu as quelque chose de plus à dire ou est-ce que tu gardes tout? Est-ce que tu gardes tout pour le débrief après?
Non, merci d'avoir commenté cette run, c'était cool. Merci d'avoir sélectionné la run aussi.
Oui.
Donc voilà, merci à tout le monde, c'était cool. Oui.
Eh bien, merci Silent Genius de nous avoir montré ce qu'il ne faut pas installer sur un ordinateur et pourquoi il faut faire attention au virus.
Effectivement, merci.
Je suis en compagnie de la vraie Islia ce coup-ci.
Ouais.
Parce que tout à l'heure,
comment ça, il y avait une fraude avant?
Oui, oui.
Je comprends pas.
Looks like they did just swap back. So yeah, that was MainFrames. Thank you, selcouthmind, for commentating. Do you have any shout outs of your own, and where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/selcouthmind, most places as selcouthmind as well. Keep watching English Restream, keep applying to be involved. I know there's an event coming up next week, AGM Herbst. You will see me actually running in that event. I'll be running blueprints there, and so I am very excited for that. Excited for you all to get to see it here on the English Restream as well. So thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure being here as a commentator and as a volunteer. And stay tuned for the final 2 runs. We got Balatro and Hollow Knight coming up.
Yeah, thank you for being here. It's always a pleasure to have you on. So we have another 2 more runs coming up before the end of this event. We'll be right back. We got to prep for a couple of those. So yeah, enjoy this little interview that I assume they'll be doing.
Ah oui, bah oui, bien sûr.
And stay tuned for more Nitro Speedrun Festival.
On va pas la presser.